You ever notice that as we watch these games, be it the Packers, be it the Vikings, be it the Eagles, we're always rooting for the same ratty-ass teams every single week. Like with the Vikings. Look, I'll go backwards in order because you keep an eye on it. Backwards in order. Atlanta, Arizona, Chicago, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Indianapolis. That's their run. That's their run. And I'm tired of it, Sean. But you know what? At the same time, I don't give a shit. And I'm less and less worried every single week because here's the bottom line. When you're a bum-ass team that gets a bum-ass schedule, this is how it works. And it's fine by me. It's fine by me, Sean. They can play the Colts and the Jaguars every single weekend, which they do. I don't care. I don't care. And the Sam Darnold thing, as I got a couple of tweets. Well, Sam Darnold's looking really good. Fuck Sam Darnold. All right?
Okay.
It's on brand.
Okay? Yeah. No, but Sean,
right. It's on brand, dude.
These bum-ass teams, have you noticed? I don't think anybody's noticed this. I went and looked because I kept thinking, I'm like, man, they're always playing the Jets or the Giants or the Jaguars or the Colts
like a Thursday
or the
night
Titans.
Game.
Yeah, like every week it's the same. So I don't care. I don't fear them. I don't give a shit about them. I don't care. And guess who they get next week? Oh, the Bears again. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, we're new money. We are. Lion fans, we're new money. Whether we want to admit it or not, we're new money. And you know what we're seeing? One of the realities that I think so many other teams in the National Football League has seen, we keep waiting for help every week. But at this point in time in the schedule, there's no help coming, okay? Because the cream has already risen to the top in the National Football League, okay? Don't expect those types of losses at this juncture of the season. You might mix in one or two. And number two, Neil, you hit it. Don't need it. Help yourself. And that's what this team does. And it was funny because watching the Thursday night game and then watching last night's game, all right, I love hearing people say the same things about us that people are saying about Kansas City. The Lions are lucky. You guys see it. You see the slander. There are people all over the place that talk about how lucky.
We'll get to their fans later, by the way.
How lucky the Lions are, okay? No. It's part of their DNA now, man. Just like it's part of Kansas City's DNA. Hate Kansas City all you want. That's what they do seemingly every week. And this just in, that's what good teams do. And that's been going on forever. So in that regard, Neil, we're new money, okay? Relatively new money because we've kind of been on a roll since the midway point of the 2022 season. But I think we're starting to see some of those first world problems in the National Football League. We really are. And part of that is go down the checklist. Every game that you mentioned that we were hoping going, oh, it'd be nice. It'd be nice if Carolina could pop this upset. I was dialed into that one. I'm going to be honest with you. And I even told the guys, I caught myself in the fourth quarter. Man, Carolina's messing around. Maybe Bryce Young kind of figured something out, right? Right. You knew.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing wasting our time? Same thing, you were watching the Falcons game. Hey, this is 21-21. And then in the blink of an eye, they're up by 3 touchdowns going, what the just happened, right? So this is where we're at. And as long as you can control what you're controlling, and that's what the Lions are doing, I feel pretty damn good about everything, Neil.
No, and I'm fine with it, too. It's just I'm fatigued with rooting for these bum-ass teams every week. I'm fatigued. And I'm tired of it, and it doesn't matter, I guess, in the end. Burn, I'm glad the Vikings are keeping this close. I want them to keep it close. Every great Detroit team needed a wall to run through. I see 2 walls that we can run through them. FJ 1967, good morning, Neil, Sean, Big D Energy, and chat. Good morning. Good to have you all.
Sir.
Good to have you all in here as we are locked and loaded. But no, that's a great point you bring up because we are going to discuss. I have had enough of the Packer fan whining and crying, and the Vikings fans, and then the Bears just with the disillusion. Hey, Bears fan, tell me more about Caleb Williams. Tell me more about when they're down 24-0 and he starts slinging it around the yard. Tell me more about the 12 feet of offense they had in the first half of the game. 12 feet. 12 feet. Oh, but you don't understand, Neil. No, I understand plenty. Every time I look up, they're down 24-0 and Caleb Williams has 12 feet passing. That's what I see every single time. But Neil, you got to watch the game. No, I do watch the games. I do watch it, and I see the same thing over and over again. Tell me more. Sean, these other fans in this division, I've had enough of their shit, for real.
I had to send that text message to you guys. I was watching that debacle. Like, I don't know if you guys saw this, okay? Here are the numbers at halftime. Frisco was up 24-0. 14-1 for first downs. Do you know what total yards were? Neil, this is why you brought up 12 feet. 319-4.
Wow.
Okay? And just for my
4
own
yards.
sanity,
Hey,
KG,
Sean, can you re-say that, but say it in feet for the Bears?
12 feet.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay.
And KG, I brought up to Neil, I sent him a text and I said, and I think you were here that day. I remember sitting here and I thought I was in like a delusional world or something because everybody and their brother before the season started was talking about, no, man, we really got to fear the Bears. No. Did you watch Hard Knocks? And that's where you have to stop yourself. Stop yourself right there. If you watched Hard Knocks,
Got caught up.
you did. That's what Hard Knocks does. And they're very good at it, mind you. They are. They're very good at it. It's almost like they're professionals and they're trying to entertain you. But the Hard Knocks effect is real. People were talking about them being a playoff. Caleb Williams' perfect landing spot was with the Chicago Bears. People were saying that, Neil. Like in August before the season started. And I remember sitting here going, did I miss something? Am I, like, from the coach to the rookie quarterback to the signings were okay. It wasn't earth-shattering. This isn't prime Keenan Allen by any stretch of the imagination. But everybody and their brother, I guess I was supposed to be afraid of the Bears, right?
Their offensive line still sucks.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And Keenan Allen's fat.
Yes.
Yeah. And the culture was always bad. But at the same time.
And on top, he looks like George Jefferson. Like when his helmet comes off.
He been bald, though. I mean, he been bald for a minute.
Well, you know what? Give up on
No,
it.
you
Like,
give
just
up
go
on
bald
it.
all the way.
Just go
Poor
home.
Wheezy.
Just go home.
We got a friend of ours we're trying to just say, bro, just go bald.
And while I wasn't one of them people that thought, the Bears would be in the playoffs, I mean, nobody expected the Vikings to be doing what the hell they've done. So I thought they were the bottom of the division, and then that surely wasn't true. But I mean, he came into an insulated situation. I can't necessarily blame people before the season, but seeing how it looks now, it's pretty bad.
In the chat, Rack, 12 feet, that's not even the free throw line distance. Exactly. But tell me more. Like in the afternoon, Tom Madsway, in our Woodward text thread yesterday, he will be good. Yeah, win. 134 yards. We had 2 touchdowns. Oh, no one ever talks about the fumble. He stinks. They're down 24-0 every game. When's the last time they won, by the way?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Jeez, I'm thinking about it right off the top of my head.
When's the last time they won?
Oh, I gotta look that up.
Sean, hint.
Months ago.
It was against the bum-ass Jaguars.
Yes, exactly.
Let's see, they've lost.
Around Columbus Day?
It was October 13th.
Not even Columbus Day.
Yeah.
You're right.
You see what I mean here?
They've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
They
7
suck.
straight games.
Their quarterback sucks. And then, I love it, too, because if people go, well, Neil, you don't understand. He's putting it together. Look at the numbers. He's only thrown, 5 interceptions or whatever. Every game he has 13 completions for 90 yards. Every game.
I couldn't believe that Jordan Love only completed 11 passes.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Bum.
Yep. Tell me again how he's the savior of the NFC.
Come on. No, this is what you're getting all day today because I've had enough. The media folk, we'll get to them. The other team's fans, we'll get to them.
Are we going to get to Byron
Wow.
Murphy, too? Chirping
You know
up?
what? The Bears were 4-2 heading into the bye and then the Commanders game, where I think we were all watching that game, right?
Correct.
We were out. Wow, what an epic collapse. Jeez, oh, Pete. I didn't know that, Spenny. The Jacksonville game.
Yep.
But breaks my heart to see the Bears.
7 straight losses.
Just breaks my heart.
Jake Wegener, when you say his passing in feet, that's diabolical. No, it's mathematically factual. That's what it is. So, again, I I don't get it with that, but whatever. And I'm tired of watching all these bum-ass teams play. But that's the way it works. And, Sean, you're right. That's kind of new money of me.
It is.
Because this is how it works when you're good and the other teams suck. Like, that's the way it works. You get to play Buffalo. And you get to play, playoff teams and Tampa and stuff like that. The other teams, they get to play the Jets. Like, that's the way it works.
And you hope, you sit there and hope. We'll do the same thing next weekend after we dispatch of the the Bills. We'll do the same thing. We'll play the schedule game and look at other games and hope for help. And
be ready because the Vikings are playing the Bears again.
And you know what? Every now and again, you might get a little help, but just accept the fact more often than not, you're not. That you just accept that fact. We're at that point in time in the season where the cream has risen to the top. And guys, I always go back to this because I can't stress this enough, and I think maybe people understand this. Half of it is up here, you guys, okay? I was in that locker room so many times where the season was done before Thanksgiving. And then especially after Thanksgiving, you know where those guys' brains are at? The off season. Mm-hmm. They can lie all they want. That's where their brains are at. They know there's nothing to play for. Okay? That doesn't mean, I want to be crystal clear, that doesn't mean that they're going out there and half-assing it. They're professionals. They take pride in it. But from a mentality standpoint, you are playing out the string. Period. Okay? It's a different mindset. If you go into a game saying, hey, man, we have to keep pace with the Vikings. We have to keep pace with the Eagles. We have to keep pace here or there. These guys are sitting there going, 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks, man. I get to chill. Mm-hmm. I am taking off to Tahiti for a week and just getting my body right and everything. That I don't care who you are. That's human nature. And that's why this time of year, every year, you kind of see the cream go like that and the rest of the pack go like that without fail.
Honolulu BS, but Eberflus got a new haircut and a beard. That's pretty good. That's elite. All right, we're going to get into it, everybody.
Before we go to break, can I do a quick shout-out? Shout-out to our guy, friend of the network, friend of the show, John Yu, in Pro Sports Zone. He's hooking up. I got that because, shout-out D-Mac. He got me the Steve Yzerman jersey autograph for my dad for Christmas last year. John Yu's framing it for me this year and authenticating it. So shout out to Pro Sports Zone. I pulled up there. I was in Sean's hood in Livonia the other day, dropped it off. Dude, I could have been in there for hours and spent thousands of dollars.
You know what? I'll piggyback on that. He's been outstanding. I have gotten my stuff there for years.
Yes.
Legitimately. I mean, I remember being in there 12, 13 years ago talking to John. So great dude. If you need something, hit him up.
Yeah. The selection is unmatched, too. If the jerseys are sold out online, you can't get one, go to Pro Sports Zone. They got every player. The whites, the blacks, the blues, any of the jerseys you need.
Which one do you prefer?
I like the blue ones. Honestly. The new blue
Which
jerseys,
one's your second favorite?
The blacks.
Who's your third favorite?
Hesitation, Neil.
Who's your third favorite?
The whites. I mean, there's only 3.
Okay.
But anything you need, John Yu's got it. Not just Lions gear, too. And all the autographs. He had thousands of autographed mini helmets right in front. Like, you go to the checkout station and you're like, fuck, I'm going to spend another $400 because there's just a ton of autographed mini helmets. So shout out Pro Sports Zone and John Yu.
No question about it. Class dude, too.
Yeah.
Class dude in the community.
He went out there, he got you an edge, he got you a guy that's going to get to the quarterback, he got you a guy that's already first amongst active players in total pressures and sacks and hurries and quarterback hits and all that good stuff on this team. So shout out to him for making sure that we get somebody to help.
Yeah, not only somebody to help, the guy to help. You know, when you break it down, listen, we all had that wish list. We all had the pie in the sky of Max Crosby or Myles Garrett. But it turns out those dudes weren't for sale. You know, Max Crosby, I guess we can take him as a man of his word when he says, I ain't leaving. This is my squad.
Not a man of his word when he said he wants to win, though.
That's the weird thing, right? Like, D-Mac, how do you convince a guy like a Max Crosby, who is as loyal as they come, that the position that he's in will never benefit his career, and that he should leave and come with us. Like, how could they have made that happen? Or do you just think if a guy's like, no, it's not going to happen, you can't convince a guy like Crosby?
But it's also too is top stars got to want to change, right? So whatever else that he says, and he obviously has made his point that he doesn't want to leave being a Raider no matter what. So he's gonna, stick it through, so to speak. Yes, obviously if you want to win and stay there, that's a dichotomy, but I think it's more important for him to stick it out even more for whatever reason. So you got the top stars got to want to leave, and he definitely made it a point that he didn't.
Yeah.
So I mean, you move forward. What I like to hear about Zadarius Smith is that yes, he's not that superstar game changer by himself, but what he is he's a complete defensive end that's going to help the rest of everything you need here. And as of late, he's played his best football of the year. So why would that not continue?
I love this comment by Donovan Strong in the chat. It's called tampering, Stick. That's how you get him to come here. And, maybe they didn't do enough tampering, but Brad Holmes is an above-water guy, and he went and got the premier defensive end. I mean, even Jim Rome, one of my favorite sports guys, he was commenting, like the Lions won.
He's still around?
Yeah, he's still around. You don't hear him as much. They tried to silence the Rome army, but no, he's still around. And he was saying that the Lions, they won the trade deadline. They got the best player at the best position of need that they could get. That was the only defensive end of that caliber available, and they hit the market with a 5th and a 6th round pick, only paying $605,000, not million, $1,000. That's like nothing. And then you can pay him next year. Supposed to be an $11 million cap hit, but the Lions will only have to absorb $5 million of that if they want to keep him.
And they got to easy out in case things don't go according to plan, which we all think they will, but just saying. They do have easy out there.
Yeah, no, so, sorry. Overall, ecstatic about this young man coming to the Lions.
No, absolutely. Spenny, didn't Coach Campbell have some words to say about that also?
Yeah, we do. We have Coach Campbell talking with Dan Miller.
Zadarius Smith, what does he bring to the team?
Yeah, he look, man, it's good to get him here. He brings an element of toughness. Smart football player, can set an edge, can get an edge and rush, close the pocket down. He's just a really good complementary piece.
I know there are audio issues, but the bottom line is Cole's notes on it is he's a complete defensive end that will allow you to get pressures. And with what we have already on this team, he will be an asset to him. So true professional is what he said at his position.
And that's what you're finding with every player on the Detroit Lions, right? When you look at up and down this roster, talent level, you can debate with a lot of people, but professionalism is almost undebatable. Outside of J-Mo, and I'm not here to, do anything to J-Mo, but that's probably the only guy you could knock on this entire roster for not being quote-unquote professional.
Yeah.
Even though I don't agree with half the crap that gets thrown at that kid.
Thank you.
But either way, you look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, consummate professional, constantly working on his craft. Jared Goff, constantly working on his craft. Penei Sewell, constantly getting better, even though he is quite literally the best tackle in the NFL. So all these guys, so that mold fits. And what do we talk about all the time with this Dan Campbell team is culture. So it's awesome that Zadarius Smith not only is as talented as he is, but he's a guy that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell feel that would fit with this locker room.
Well, that's number one, I think, is that the fit has to be there first, and talent second, that's when you know that you've built something. So what does that say about you, right? We're arguably, when we look around the league from the top prognosticators, right, that have the Lions either at 1 or 2 with Kansas City, who I think we all agree by the eyeball test. No, but
Lions are
I was thinking about Kool-Aid's top 10 list this morning.
Should be good to go with the video.
Okay, all right. By the eyeball test, right, the Detroit Lions are the best team in football. And when the best team in football is making the best trade deadline moves that are out there for them to not only solidify with the best player at the position that is needed, that's when you're cooking on all cylinders. You know, guys want to come here and stick. You did it at your price.
Right.
You didn't let anybody else dictate to you. You stuck to your game plan. So we're seeing Brad Holmes operate on every elite level that a GM does. And that is, you know, one of the reasons. So, I mean, keep cooking. Just as well as the Lions are cooking on the field, he's cooking off.
I love it.
Damn right.
How much do locker rooms pay attention to what other locker rooms added? I know, you know, the professional line is, look, we're going to take care of business. We focus on ourselves. But when you're in the division and you notice that your division rival adds the best trade deadline acquisition, does it send shockwaves or does it just not matter?
No. That aspect on the top of the league, right, where everybody's looking at the paper and reading the paper no matter what and going, oh, okay, they added that. That's going to be good. Let's dive deeper where it means more in this young man here in Zadarius Smith, who has played in Green Bay, who has played in Minnesota.
Yep.
So in Minnesota and Green Bay, go from the players to the coaches to whatever, go Detroit just picked up Z. Oh, shit. Right? Because they know what a consummate professional is. He is. So right now, Green Bay, the Green Bays and the Minnesotas, who we are battling for this North with, right, are the ones that know the most what they're gonna get. And that's why it hits even deeper in this division and this move specifically.
KG, you weren't here yesterday, and
No.
I mean, we all kind of discussed this at length yesterday, but what's your opinion about this acquisition? Are you jumping through the roof? Are you okay with it? Did you want more?
Well, at first I wanted more, but overlooking this thing and seeing how they've performed with Aiden gone, I feel like this is enough to get them over the hump. And when you look at the compensation that they had to give up, you look at, you know, the fact that Brad Holmes wouldn't even let them get a 4th-round pick. They were trying to extort him for a 4th-round pick. He didn't let that happen. You look at next year. Aiden finally has his bookend edge rusher for next year. I think next year we're going to see the benefits of this even more than this year. But as far as this year goes, you get him and Josh Pascal back. You got those guys on the interior still, DJ Reader, Aleem McNeil, Levi O. They should be able to make this work and get over the hump. It's still yet to be seen. But Brad Holmes was going to make a move. He was always going to make a move. And I'm just happy that, you know, for once, our name are in the headlines and we went and got our player.
Yeah, I was checking the Vegas odds before and after the Super Bowl odds for the trade. And I mean, it helped the odds. What was it the plus like 120 had added to the added to the line?
Yep.
What is going on out here? Sirens
Civil War.
going. There's an accident going on right here on Woodward.
Right.
Uh-oh, it's already started, KG.
I knew this shit was going to come.
D-Mac, they're coming for you. Sending you back to Canada.
KG, your fear's coming true. The
Yeah,
South is
man.
rising.
It happened so
told
quick,
y'all,
KG.
bro.
It happened so quick.
I told y'all, man. Oh, man. Good times. Good times.
I forgot what the hell I was even saying. What?
We're talking about Zadarius
Super Bowl
Smith.
odds.
Huh?
Super Bowl odds.
Super Bowl odds, yeah. So Vegas sees this as an improvement in the Super Bowl odds for the Lions. They see that one move, adding this one guy, helps your odds to win the Super Bowl. So to me, when it happened, I didn't get the like jump through the roof. Yeah, we did it. Like I wasn't over the top crazy happy that they made this trade. I was obviously happy they made the trade, but it didn't like make me think that this team jumped up an incredible amount. I already thought they were at a 9.5. This puts them at a 9.7, maybe 10, right? But I already thought they had the tools to get where they need to go. It's just now they have a little bit more depth. Yep. Now they have a piece you got to scheme against, and I can't wait to see what it does for Aleem McNeil and DJ Reader on that line. They were the ones kind of taking the onus on them and making sure that they were getting the push up the middle because we couldn't get the edge rush. Now they can kind of have a little bit more fun down there, run some different stunts. You know, they got a new toy to play with.
Yeah, and I said this on the morning show, and I felt like 97-1 yesterday kind of hit this on the head perfect.
What?
You're not really, and I got to give credit where it's due, but you're not really replacing Aiden Hutchinson. You're more so replacing Marcus Davenport and what he brought to the table. And when you look at it from that aspect, then, you know, this is a good trade.
Isn't this an improvement on Davenport too? Because availability.
Yeah, when healthy. Yeah,
but Zadarius Smith is available, right? To the fact, and hopefully it continues to be. I think Kenny, you brought up a great point that we're not looking to and we shouldn't, because we should be focused on the now. But again, this doesn't benefit. This isn't just a rental player for this year. This is a guy that can be effective for next year, like you said, where you got, oh, hey, the Lions' ends are Zadarius Smith and Aiden Hutchinson.
Yep.
How good are
Whittling,
you?
McNeil, and DJ Reader. That
Right.
speaks to me the best defensive line in the league, arguably.
Yeah, next year is going to be fun. But I don't want to already start thinking about
No,
next
I
year.
know,
We got
I get it.
business
I
to
get it.
handle this year.
That's right.
We got a Super Bowl to get to. We got a Super Bowl to win.
And that's what ultimately this trade will be measured by. Do you get to the Super Bowl? Do you win the Super Bowl? That's what this trade will be graded off of, unfortunately. That's just the waters that we in now.
Yeah, and one of the things that stood out to me yesterday, too, is the other teams were sellers in our division. The Bears got rid of Khalil Herbert.
Yeah.
You know, the Packers got rid of a guy that wasn't really playing a ton for them, but they still unloaded pieces. Like, they weren't acquiring assets. Nobody else in the division got better.
Yeah.
Nobody. The Lions are the only team in the NFC North to get better at the trade deadline, and they were already the best team in the NFC North. So I don't know what the hell the rest of the division's trying to do, but to me it showed that they're kind of conceding, and it's just like, okay, this is the Lions' year. This is not our time to make a move, not our time to give up assets, because in the end, they're just going to beat our ass anyways.
Right.
I don't care if you got 3 fingers and 1 ass cheek. It's going to happen.
Damn right.
I seen you guys are Darius Smith. How do you feel about that?
I mean, shoot, you play with him. You tell me. I'm excited.
He's a dog. I ain't gonna lie. He's a dog. Like, I seen him like blow up. Like in Green Bay, we used to move him like inside too, and he used to blow up just anybody. Like just double team. I seen him in practice. We tried to double team him, like guard center maybe. He just blew the whole shit open. Just fucked the whole play up. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. He has dope ass. He's a lit dude, good dude too. Like good teammate, great celebrations too after sacks. Like,
oh yeah, we're gonna bring the celebrations up too.
Yeah. No, he's lit. He's a good player and he's lit. Like that's good. That's gonna be good for you guys. Like I like him a lot actually.
Culture, right, D-Mac? That's a cult. I mean, even
how cool. I'm just thinking of this, right? Like that. The cool part of technology and social media, the fact is that the in-between, right? What we get right now, these two brothers that are in the division against each other. But if you watch the St. Brown's podcast, what's it called?
St. Brown Brothers podcast.
Whatever it is, right? Like they literally let you into how they legitimately, there's no act to anything else. They dog each other, but they talk for real. That's how guys really talk about other players and stuff that have been in. What's he like? You played with him. Oh man, and you have this sort of respect to me without, right? Because what do we taught growing up, right? You can't let your defense down. You can't dude, yeah, he might work out, he might not. You're not going to let, even if it's your brother in front of the world, but you're going to say, oh man, he's going to be good for you guys. Oh, this guy, great sellies too. Like
right.
He's got to be a great guy in your locker room, which is pumping your tires. It's crazy, but I love it. I love it. That little. And in wrestling they call it the kayfabe, right? Behind the curtain, we're getting.
Well, and it's a trusted source, right? If I can't trust my brother to tell me the truth, who can I trust?
But look at the way they talk.
Right.
And if you watch any of these clips, even more so, it's not you understand when guys are talking. That's like the way that anybody else could. It's really relatable. I guess that's the point I'm saying to make it. So if you haven't caught it with the interviews that they have, but like you said, you get the real thing. I'm more excited about Zadarius Smith from hearing those comments by somebody that's played with him.
Yeah, I like that they're adding a personality to the team because, say what you want, losing Hutch's presence of what he can do football-wise is one thing. Missing the Billie Jean dance and missing all the fun with the sacks on, it's going to be fun to have a guy that brings that type of energy to the squad.
To your point, that's that locker room. And Hutch doesn't miss, he misses the sacks and being out there and grinding with the guys, but it's all the stuff in between that you miss as a teammate with your guys.
Well, let's be honest, right? That's part of the reason why you and Braylon are here at Woodward Sports. I mean, there's many other things you guys could be doing, but part of the reason, or at least I feel that brings you guys here is we have a locker room mentality. Yeah, we have a team. We get to joke around with each other. We get to fuck with each other. We get to talk about things that friends talk about that in public sometimes wouldn't be okay conversation. You know, like KG and I were talking about politics between the show and just trying to understand each other a little more on those
here's
things.
the one thing,
and it's never it's a locker room thing. We know we're on the same team no matter what.
Exactly.
And it's for point of view, right?
Right.
To your same line, it's like, don't tell me what, tell me who. And that's what with here Woodward over the years trying to build is guys who are invested in each other, right? What do I always say? It doesn't matter what team. It's like you're successful when the guy beside you is more important. Now in the business relationship, how does that? It means like, do you take care of your stuff so that he can take care of his? Do you put your teammates in the best position? That's what we try to do. So, and it's also too is like when I don't understand something, I gotta be able to ask questions to not be dumb. And where do I go with trusted sources? And a lot of times, we use it for a lot of ways, but everybody comes from different places, so it's perspective and trusted perspective.
Well, I'm glad we can at least provide you with that locker room feel too, D-Mac. Like because I didn't play. Obviously, I didn't play professional. I didn't make it past high school, but I still miss like the locker room stuff in high school.
You
right?
have softball championships. You know what it's like. No. But what I'm saying is that camaraderie to accomplish. We're on the same mission as we're building something to accomplish with everybody else in the city that we all love together. There's a commonality to what we want to get with the teams now. Finally,
they're here.
They're getting it.
Yeah, I'm right.
It's been a long road. I remember Woodward Sports started in 2020, and every team was at its basement, the absolute basement. But it also was like, hey, if we can do okay now, just imagine when these teams are winning, and now we're seeing what the Lions doing what they do. But I love that they threw that in there about the celebrations. Like you said, that's more than just the statistics, right? It shows a little bit more about the character of the guy, what he's gonna bring, how he's gonna fit in. Because if Spenny's like, hey, my boy wants to come work with you, and you guys are gonna love him. Like he brings great energy. That adds more to he can just get the job done.
I was more impressed with the fact that he was blowing up guys at practice. That's what I'm tripping over. Like, yes, man, we got an actual pass rusher in here, and not to discredit anybody else, but what they picked up on is a leader. That's something they were missing with Hutch not being in that locker room is that leadership, man. They got a professional to come in here. He's going to come in here, and he's going to be able to contribute. This is a guy that's had double-digit sacks 3 seasons, maybe 4 now with us. I feel like it's a good chance he can get to 10 sacks, man, but I'm really just relieved that they have that presence now, kind of filling that void that Aiden left, like you said, when he
just wait till Aiden and him start vibing on the field together.
It's gonna be great.
And then when they meet at the quarterback and smash Sam Darnold into the ground together.
I think a thing that's going kind of under the radar is when EQ in that said when they were in Green Bay together, they used Za'Darius on the inside sometimes to get him in different things. Terrell Williams is one of the best defensive line coaches in the NFL. He's going to be able to move him around, put him in situations where he's going to be the most beneficial for the defense.
Unbelievable. That's what it's saying. It just stacks on stacks on stacks right here. Like as far as winning trade deadline, in the ether of the NFL, adding to your division, like you said earlier, if you count Minnesota making a move last week, for an offensive line guy, it doesn't move the needle for me. So, you bring that's the biggest thing too, Spenny. We can't forget. Look at the coaching staff we have here. And I know somebody's worried who said it in the chat about Ben Johnson going to Chicago. I don't think Ben Johnson's going anywhere right now. There's mission to be had, like the Super Bowl. So.
Well, Ben Johnson had some interesting comments about if he was a head coach. We could talk about that during the show. I know it's not on the prep, Spenny, so let's get to that during the show. But I want to acknowledge some of the people in the Woodward Sports chat. Key Ozzy, MCDC, and Brad Holmes only recruit dogs. What up, chat? And that's the truth, man. It's so crazy how they have a type.
And by the way, if a professional athlete that has played with you calls you a dog, that means you're like a double dog. That means like you're a dog to that. It's even the extra stamp of approval of being a dog.
Dimsdale double dog.
Absolutely same thing.
Michael Daniels said, let's go Lions. Mike O, softball teams are a blast, actually. Yeah, Space Dogs. Let's go, Space Dogs. Let's see. Sound Kayak, I should have moved back to Michigan sooner. I'm assuming he's talking about the sports teams and how fun they're having.
Shout out.
Yep, shout out. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Make sure you're liking. Make sure you're subscribing and doing all that fun stuff. I mean, the Lions made a big move yesterday. Is he going to play this Sunday?
Yes.
I mean, and if he is, how much of an impact is he going to have? Do you want to discuss that next?
Normal teams, Sean, there's ebbs and flows to how things work. You are not the team you were in September. You're not the player you are in October that you are in November. You're not the same team you are in December as you were in October. Like, there's an ebb and a flow. And ideally what you want to be is being at your peak, at your pinnacle, as you roll into the playoffs. Buffalo has that look. Like, yesterday's prices are not today's prices with the Buffalo Bills. He's taken it to another level, which has begged the question, and I think you're seeing this nationally, of Josh Allen's here. How are they going to deal with this? You know this. Every single step of the way, the Lions have got the question. Oh, you lost a game. How are you going to deal with it? Oh, they're going to win every single game after that. Oh, all these guys are hurt. What are you going to do now? They're going to grit and grind and find a way to win games still. Okay, now the alien's coming to town. How are you going to handle this? So I think it is the last question that the Lions have to answer this season.
It's funny you say that, and I don't want to give too much away for the nickel package, but we're going to discuss that in the nickel package. It was my job to come up with 5 questions, and we'll discuss that in a little bit. Neil, I'm going to look at the other way. You know what I want to do? How can we exploit that defense that is incredibly exploitable? And part of the way you can exploit that defense that, as we have seen, is incredibly exploitable is activating your backs out of the backfield and going right after them. I'm sure that you guys have seen all the numbers, and there have been multiple tweets about how running backs out of the backfield are just killing the Bills. That is the soft underbelly for you World War II buffs out there. That is the soft underbelly of Fortress Buffalo Bills. What running backs are doing to them out of the backfield. And this is where you get, obviously we accept it from Gibbs. You know what? Why don't you throw a few passes Monty's way, too?
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you throw a few passes Monty's way? Get him some space, KG, out in the open field and let him eat.
No, absolutely. I talked about it on the morning show. Ben Johnson's screen game against a defense like this, it can absolutely open up everything else. But I also feel like the run game is going to work too. Last week against the Packers, Jared Goff had to do a little bit more. But you look at this game right here, Jared Goff's going to have his way. I feel like as long as the line of scrimmage is able to establish themselves, which they will be able to, you're going to get a little bit of the run, but you're definitely going to get a little bit of the pass game too. So as long as they play typical Detroit Lions football, time of possession, play keep away from Josh Allen, they are going to run it up on the Bills. And I'm convinced.
Remember, the last time that they wore, the only time and the last time that they wore these new black uniforms, Jared Goff had a perfect game, and David Montgomery had one of the best receptions I've ever seen in my entire life when he put Devin Witherspoon into the turf. So yeah, I'd throw that guy the ball.
As I look at the landscape with Buffalo defensively, it's and I know what you're saying is right. You've been doing this a long time, number one. Number two, you can read and look at stats and numbers and things like that. At least,
everybody can.
You pass off like you can.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, you know what? I mean, that's the beauty of it now. Like we were talking about yesterday, Neil, like all jokes aside, the whole fantasy expert thing, I giggle at it. All the information is there.
It's right there printed for you.
Do you want to put in any work? Like if you want to put in some work, you can find all these numbers, okay? And if all of us know this, what do you think the coaching staff knows?
Oh yeah,
100%. So with that being said, because I look at their defense after I hear you make a statement like that, Sean, I look at their defense. I'm like, man, Greg Rousseau, I like him.
They got talent.
He's
on
a good
that
player.
defensive
I'm like
line.
Ed Oliver, man.
Yeah.
There was a time I wanted the Lions to take him badly.
Absolutely.
You remember that whole deal?
Oh yeah.
Matt Milano.
Yeah.
At the linebacker. I mean, these are
AJ Espinoza. He's solid.
These are names, bro, that you know. And I'm like, Sean, I hear you say it, and I know you're right. because I trust you, and I know that you're right. But damn, the names, man, like, they are good, which obviously they are good. Like, they're a factor.
Guess what other names are good? Panay Sewell, Frank Ragnow, Kevin Zeitler. I mean, this Lions offensive line is just, they have their will with people, man. It don't matter who you line up on the other side.
Yeah.
So we are the most physical team in the league, and that's going to play a part in this game because while the Bills are physical, I feel like we are more physical.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to see.
And when you're looking at names against the Buffalo Bills, look at the names of the guys that are out, like both of their starting safeties in Rasul Douglas and
That's
DeMar Hamlin.
huge.
Yep.
So
Huge.
expect Waymo to get a little loose in that secondary.
Oh, man. What?
Huge.
Tabitha Gable, Neil, good to have you back. Thank you. It's good to be back. Shout out to everybody for holding it down while I was
And
doing presidential stuff.
it takes a lot to keep DeMar Hamlin off the field, so it's got to be some kind of injury. Let's go to break. Tell us about the pregame
Too
show.
soon, bro. Too soon.
He's a zombie. Let me tell you guys. All right, tell us about the pregame
show?
Yeah.
Spenny won't be a part of it because he's no longer with the network anymore. I don't know if he knows that. No, I'm just playing. Hey, nobody does football Sundays better than Woodward Sports. That's confirmed, by the way. That's the reason a lot of the 75,000 of you that subscribe to Woodward Sports, you guys know it already. We all start the Sunday mornings, 8 to 9 a.m., Woodward and Maine. Matthew Broder, Terry Foster, they break the things down for you. Tens of thousands of you tap in for that. Then they step aside. Myself and Sean Belizean step in. We'll be live at Second Best downtown for the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show brought to you by Sabbath Coffee Roasters and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. We break things down. We take a look at a matchup from the past, all of it. It's a lot of fun. And we're just in there chopping it up, drinking Tallers from New Holland Brewing, eating wings from Second Best. It's really unbelievable when you think about it. But again, we're just chopping up, taking your thoughts as well. So make sure, guys, we're not going to get in the way of your NFL viewing. Remember, 10 to noon. All right? 10 to noon. 10 to noon. We're going to be downtown warming things up for everyone. We're going to get the lay of the land and report back. Can't wait for it. Nobody does football Sundays like Woodward. Not the flagship, not the TV stations. Nobody. Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
1800 Tequila is the official tequila of the Woodward Sports live watch party and post-game show. They are also a proud partner of the Detroit Lions. You can see they got the black jersey themed bottles right there. They're in stores now. Go get yours while you can. 1800 Tequila, the smoothest taste in tequila. And please, as always, drink responsibly.
All right, we're back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for D-Mac Nickel Package Friday, Bourbon Friday. Shout out Varchez. KG, Spencer Raxter, Young Justin's in the building. And let's kick it off, everyone. We're ready to nickel package this thing up. Let's start with the Lions, man. Let's go.
All right, first question of the Detroit Lions nickel package. The Bills have been terrible against running backs out of the backfield. Is this a Montgomery and Gibbs game?
Clearly.
Isn't Sean? Aren't we to the point where every game?
Yes.
Every you know, like every game is like what else? What do you want me to say here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Someone's gonna score a touchdown. If they both get a touchdown, they may as well stop the game, save the injury, give the Lions a win, let the Bills go home early and shovel more snow when they get back. But like it's every game. Every game is their game.
I want to see them used in the way that KG described, though. You know what? I want them to set up those screens. I want them to hit them where it hurts. I mean, the Bills have been absolutely exploited this year. One of the worst teams in the league against running backs coming out of the backfield. So you know what? Exploit them. Don't overthink this. Don't overthink this. And more on this coming up in this very segment. But you know what? Utilize these guys. Set up those screens. Set up the checkdowns. I don't care if Jared turns into prime Joey Harrington. Check it down to those guys because guys are eating week after week against the Buffalo Bills.
And it's only going to open up more running lanes for them when they actually decide to hand the ball off because you have the defense moving laterally. It's just going to open up more of those holes and let them eat even more.
Tommy K in the chat. Great to have you back, Neil. Shout out Shankar Distilleries. Went to a Christmas party there last week and was sipping on some bar chat. So, see, there you go. The people are in the street. Second down.
Second down, second question of the Lions nickel package. Josh Allen has thrown for 5 touchdowns and run for 4 in his last 2 games. Define limiting him Sunday.
Beating them.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
He's going to get his.
He is.
Right? You have to accept that. We are not going to shut down Josh Allen.
They're over 30 a game, are they not? Like offensively,
Yeah.
I believe for the course of the season, they are over 30 a game. Yeah, it's the nature of the beast. I mean, the dude, we forget his size. For real.
Tough to bring down.
He's so fun to watch. I'm sorry. I've said it from day one.
When he's on, yeah.
I love watching the guy. I really do.
30 and a half,
now that he's
30 and a half. There you go.
No, I'm serious. I mean, going back to when he was drafted, I remember talking about it here on the network when we first started with Bischoff. I was like, guys are dropping the ball on him. I want a guy that can make plays. I don't give a shit how uncoordinated he looks. I don't give a crap about some of the ill-advised throws that he makes. I want a guy to make plays. Josh Allen is going to make plays. Make more plays.
Young Justin on Caesars, can you find out what he is to throw a pick, Josh Allen?
Yes, I can.
I got something cooking up, by the way.
I like that. I like where you're thinking.
I got something cooking up. All right, next, third down.
All right, third down, third question of the Detroit Lions nickel package. Over 54.5, right?
It's got to.
Sean.
It's got to, right?
Sean, there's this town in the desert full of lights with plush carpeting and granite countertops and the latest technology.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of it.
And the finest women walking around.
That's true.
There's this place. It's in the desert. Perhaps you've heard of it.
Pahrump, Nevada? Is that?
I think it's Scottsdale.
Scottsdale.
It's a lot in an NFL game. I know. Like
This is why I don't
34-31
gamble anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I don't gamble anymore.
34-31, right?
Take over.
There's no way this game is not 34-31.
That's begging me. It is literally begging me to come out of retirement and bet on that. It is. It's
That's Sean Belizean's music. He's back. Oh my God. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Bitches. Money.
Neil, you know what? As I was doing this last night, okay, let's take it. How about you said 34-31? How about even like 31-27, 31-28? Like you're sitting back.
Well,
going,
Sean, like
that's over.
34-31 covers it by more than a touchdown, and that's with 3 field goals. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because field goals are your enemy when you're betting the over.
They are.
They are.
Field goals are your enemy. Period. Let's be honest.
Winning, overs. America, all of it. All of it. Bigger enemy. Field goals are the Germans. 2-4-8. All right.
Yeah. Neil, were you looking for interception or turnover?
Interception.
Interception. Minus 130 for Josh Allen.
Uh-oh. He's throwing one.
Oh, shit.
They're telling you he's throwing one.
If you listen to Dan Orlovsky and go by his game plan, you're going to throw one.
Yeah.
Allen's throwing one.
He's going to take shots at the secondary.
To be honest with you, I was looking to get that worst case scenario plus 100. Best case scenario plus 115.
Yeah.
I was looking for plus money on that.
And listen, if this game goes the way that we all think it's going to do, and the Bills have to play catch up, right? He's going to be airing it out.
Yes.
Which just screams over, doesn't it?
Even if they knock down, he's going to. It's part of his DNA to take shots down the field. But you're going against a very tested secondary, and the safety room is like unreal, bro. So you can try it if you want to. And Kirby gonna come down with a couple.
We
of
welcome
boys.
it.
We welcome you.
I'm glad I got a first round bye in my fantasy playoffs because Josh Allen's my quarterback. So He can have an off week this week. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Just come back even stronger next week, brother. All right, next question of the Detroit Lions nickel package. 3 defensive backfield starters did not practice Thursday for the Bills. Paging Dr. Goff.
Can I go back to point 3? This is going over. It's flying over, right? This is the type of game that Jared Goff is going to get that precision knife and do some surgery, right? Doesn't everything scream towards it?
But I was told that it's a Gibbs Montgomery game.
Yes, and throw it all over, and then J-Mo runs amok in the backfield. You hit him once for 79 yards, and then all of a sudden you got 31 points on the board. Right?
Everybody
Who says no?
Okay.
I don't.
Who says no?
Maybe
I like J-Mo for 2 touchdowns.
Maybe that Rams Bills game is too fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
As I was writing this, I mean, honestly, maybe that game is because it was just like, okay, cool, the Bills scored, so now that means the Rams have to score. Oh, the Rams just scored, so the Bills have to score again. Maybe that's just too fresh in my mind. But
But like Spinny said, it's Rasul Douglas, Taylor Rapp, and DeMar Hamlin are out. Maybe out. So.
Okay, here's the problem, and here's where I'm going to be honest when a lot of people in this profession and what we do are not. I don't know. Like, Sean, on paper, yeah, 100 YOLO, every prop over, let's go.
Right.
On paper, yes. But Sean,
something gonna happen.
We've seen it too many times.
We've seen it with the Lions the last few weeks, right? Everybody and their brother nationally is talking about all the injuries, and it's going to catch up to the Lions. How'd that work out?
Yeah.
The minus 130, and someone else in the chat jumped in, whatever book they go through, which is not Caesar Sportsbook, the official sports book of Woodward Sports. They said at their spot, Allen's to throw a pick is minus 165. Damn. He's got, 5 of them this year?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lions are going to win, dude. The books are trying to tell you the Lions are going to win.
Lions are going to win for sure.
What is he to throw 2?
I just took the Lions plus, minus 6.5.
Alt line. What do you get? 2.5?
Yeah, it was plus 195.
Oh, that's it, huh? Yeah, okay.
6.5?
Yeah.
Not bad.
I'm shaded. Let me know when you get that, by the way.
I'm pulling up right now.
2
All right,
plus.
Final question of the Detroit Lions nickel package. Can't expect any help at this point. So are we in playoff mode with 4 weeks to go? Because they basically need to win out. If they lose one game or they win out, they're 100% the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, you know what people aren't taking into account with that, though, is the volatility. And when the Vikings lose on Monday night, they become a non-factor. Because think about it.
It's the Eagles.
Yeah, no, I get it. But, think about it. Any loss by, we keep talking about the Lions and how they can't lose to get this done. Any loss by the Vikings or Eagles, and they are out.
Could.
3. Wait, you're gonna be 1.5 back with 3 to go.
Yeah.
You ain't catching the Lions in that fat. See, I think people are losing sight of that, Sean. The Lions are the boss still. It's up to those teams to win every single game. The Lions can lose this game and nothing changes.
That's exactly it.
Nothing changes. I don't think people understand the AFC dynamic of the game this weekend because, if they do lose, you'll be doing the watch party.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I told you this team.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to lose at home again.
They peaked too early.
They're playing too well for too long. It's literally a free roll, Sean.
We talked about it a month ago. If you were going to lose again, make it this one.
Yeah.
Make it this one. And by the way, I don't think they're going to lose this one. I don't. And Neil, I do think this is playoff mode right now. I've said it since the summertime. Look, I don't give a crap where the Lions finish. Of course, I'd rather finish number 1 and win the division and all that. You make your hay in playoff time.
They're in the playoffs.
But now that you're here, you're here and you have an opportunity to lock up a real home field advantage because everybody and their brother knows that this is a real home field advantage at Ford Field. No slip-ups.
Well, no, it's all corporate people there now. Tickets are too expensive.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Rats.
That's it, right?
No, but pedal to the metal. You're here. I think it's playoff mode. This team should look at this and say, okay, we're not losing the rest of the year. Cool, let's go.
Been playoff.
Real quick, we'll get to some of the people here. Frog Crop, none of the Bills players practiced yesterday because of the weather. Yeah, I heard they had virtual meetings and stuff like that. I don't know that that's the awful thing that everyone's trying to.
What they did is they used an estimation. That's how they came up with the DNP.
Yeah, so I don't know. Answer 14, I think we all know what's going to happen if Goff gets time in the pocket. Lights out Buffalo. And then out of nowhere, and maybe I'm parachuting in on this, Mike O, 3-day benders might be underrated. I think they are underrated, Mike O.
I went on a 3-day bender last week. They play on a Thursday. What do you expect me to do?
I miss those days.
I've done it I've done it in Vegas before.
Yeah.
That's the place to do it.
I mean, the Lions play on a Thursday.
On a work trip.
I already have Fridays
That's the place
penciled
to
in
do
for
it.
my Coonan night because I go, work out in the middle of the day. And then Saturday I had a Christmas party. So Sunday I didn't do shit. I just chilled and got to recuperate.
I'm a big fan of the sweat it out theory. I am. You feel like crap. You had too much the night before. You go to the gym, you sweat it out, you feel great. It's like, all right, back on the horse. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm a big just smoke some weed and get on with your day type of guy.
Yeah, that'll change soon, Justin. I got to stretch and shit now. So
Yeah.
that's when I'm like,
5-day bender loading this weekend.
Once I make it, I think a thing that is going to be the bougiest I want a sauna in my house.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I went to an Airbnb.
It's affordable now,
when
too.
I went to a golf trip in Boyne, and our Airbnb had a sauna in the house. And it was awesome. I used it every day. Would wake up, take a schwitz, and then just fucking go golf. It was awesome.